Welcome back to another Pokemon video. I'm Doliwhop, and today we're going over Team Rocket's Pokemon teams and my Ash Team's Redunverse. Really need a shorthand for that mouthful. Anyways, I know I said I'd do the Rivals videos next, but y'all really wanted Team Rocket in the comments, and they are a much quicker video to do. You guys know the drill, so I'll go over our rules real quick. Like in the Companions video, I won't be preventing them from using Pokemon they've caught before. Same reasons as stated before, but also because I don't see too many videos of people doing Team Rocket's teams, so there's much more room for me to be creative. I will, however, be treating them as if they get new teams in every region like Ash. That doesn't mean they don't bring over old Mon into new regions, it's just an easier way to categorize all the Pokemon they'll be owning. Final rule, I'll be giving Jesse and James a team of 3 each. Team Rocket is treated as a duo in Pokemon games, so while in the anime they technically can have 6 Pokemon each, I'll be acting as if they are a single trainer. It saves time for me, and honestly I think full teams of 6 are a bit much for them. Anyway, let's get started with our first team. Meowth! Okay, he is not getting a Pokemon team. However, I have a story idea for him that is probably highly controversial. As we all know, Meowth and Pikachu are a reference to the cat chasing the mouse. Meowth isn't a battler though, as he lost his battling skills in favor of standing upright and talking. I think all that is great, but wouldn't it be interesting if he did fight? Not everyone, but only Pikachu. After their first encounter, Meowth gets furious that he got beat by some electric rat and trains to beat it up. Like, Meowth will grow into a powerful fighter that has this rivalry with Pikachu, so when they clash, it's funnier. However, he can only fight Pikachu. Any other opponent, he acts like typical Meowth. But against Pikachu, he's ready to throw hands. Or paws, I guess. That doesn't mean he won't act mellow around Pikachu like the episodes where it's just them. He's not Mimikyu or anything. I just thought Meowth being able to only fight Pikachu but being terrified to fight anyone else despite his strength was funny. I also wanted to give him a moveset. So in that case, Meowth will know the moves Fury Swipes, Night Slash, Fake Out, and Iron Tail. Fury Swipes is like his signature move, while Fake Out is an awesome flinching move. Night Slash he's referenced having, but now he'll actually have it. He needs one Dark-type move anyways. He's a quote-unquote villain after all. Iron Tail I put because I thought he'd learn it after seeing Pikachu learn it. I needed a 4th move that wasn't a basic normal or dark type move, and I thought that the idea of both of them clashing with Iron Tail was awesome. Anyway, that's my only controversial idea on this list. You can hate it all you want, but it's canon in my little world here. So, take that. On to the actual teams. Kanto Team Rocket. Jesse has a Kanto team of Arbok, Lickitung, and Nidorina. Lickitung I really considered not giving her as it eventually gets traded away anyways, but I think that's why it needs to be here. Otherwise we don't have Wobbuffet, and that's criminal. Nidorina really fits with Jesse's vibe. Jessie is always aspiring to be this sort of queen-like figure. She wants to be in charge. Nidorina evolves into Nidoqueen, so she's like a queen that's not quite there. I think she'll really mimic Jessie's personality, which will help the two get along. While we're only in Kanto, she'd also be a fantastic Pokemon for contests in my opinion. James's Kanto team is Weezing, Victreebel, and Growlithe. No big revelations here, except we're taking our sweet boy Growly out of that mansion full of assholes, aka his parents' house. James has a great Pokemon, and it's a shame he doesn't get to keep him. Growly isn't a criminal or criminally inclined, but his loyalty to James will have him be his prime defender against attacks. Though I will say, when/if James' Pokemon ever have to get sent back to the Team Rocket space, Growly would instead go to his nanny and Pop-Pop's place instead with Chimecho. That doesn't really mean anything, but I wanted to make that canon. Johto time! Jesse's team is going to be Smoochum, Ariados, and Snubbull. Wobbuffet is also here, but he's traded for Lickitung. I'm counting him towards the Kanto team, which leaves me 3 slots for Johto. Each of these represent a different facet of Jessie. Smoochum is her love of cute things. In Sinnoh, she got one at that camp, and they had a blast together, so I thought this was fitting. Ariados is her viciousness and disposition towards deadly poison types like Seviper and Arbok. Snubbull represents her dreams of a rich life. In Johto, they had the Snubbull following them around who liked to bite Meowth's tail. I think Jessie would bond with it, finding it was an adorable and powerful fighter. In the show, Snubbull was said to have felt like something was missing from her life, as she was a rich woman's dog. I think Jessie helps fill that void with adventure and friendship. Plus, if James has a loyal dog, it's funny to give Jessie one as well. Speaking of James, his team will be Octillery, Jumpluff, and Gligar. Octillery is actually what inspired this for me. I considered it for Ash's Johto team, but realized it would make the perfect Jamesmon, which led me to creating this Team Rocket teams list before even the comments asked for it. What is a key factor in a good chunk of James' Pokemon? They love him so much, but hurt him while showing love. Imagine Octillery hugging James only to crush him in its arms. I think James would catch it as a Remoraid, but it would evolve in a battle against the Twerps to help save James. Jumpluff is also a factor of James' Pokemon. Like Chimecho and Mime Jr., it loves James, but it doesn't hurt him. It has a soft disposition, and I think James would probably baby the hell out of it. Gligar follows that pain train though, with its fang, tails, and claws. It flies at James to hug him and clutches on tight, pinching and blinding him in the process. He's a real face hugger. Despite all that, James loves his team. On to Hoenn. Jesse's team is a little bit of a head scratcher. I got Seviper, Ninjask, and Shuppet. Okay, so in the Companions video, I gave May a Masquerain instead of a Wurmple, so that ruins the Dustox V Beautifly thing she and Jesse had with their Wurmples. To rival that, I considered that she could catch her own 2-stage bug that evolves in the early 20s in Ninjask. She'd catch it thinking it would grow into a beautiful bug like May's would, not knowing Ninjask would come out. She'd end up loving it like she does her Dustox and use it in contests. It's not an exact 1-for-1, and you could just give her Dustox, but if you like that change, great. Plus, it can learn Silver Wind, which might be the reason she catches it in the first place due to the beautiful wind attack it can do as an Inkata. Though in this case, I think the Shedinja that would also form wouldn't join her team. Instead, it would be a recurring Pokemon like Jigglypuff that's haunting Team Rocket. Shuppet is equally adorable and terrifying. I think creepy and deadly Pokemon fit Jessie, and I could easily imagine a doll Pokemon like Bennett fitting her. However, Harley has one, so I think the stage on in Shuppet works. It's cute and terrifying all at once. Plus, it can give awesome performances. James is next with Cacnea, Chimecho, and Mawile. Mawile I could actually see fitting Jessie as well, but I think the idea of it biting down on James like a victory bell is hilarious. Plus, it's equally cute, so I can imagine James babying it like Chimecho as well. That makes it fit for both types of James Pokemon. James doesn't usually battle to capture his Pokemon, and I can easily see a story of James being nice and not being afraid of Mawile, even when it clamps down on him. Sort of like an early Marini story. Consider Mawile a prototype Marini for James in a way. I think her chomping down sort of reminds him of Victory Bell, which is why he catches her in the first place. Sitto's on the way here, and we have Jessie's team of Yanmega, Vespiquen, and Skorupi. That's a team of bugs right there. If Jessie's gonna act like a queen bee, why not give her one? Vespiquen is a no-brainer, as I can see her catching a comb bee and eventually evolving. Maybe she uses its Vespiquen status to command the comb bee to help capture Pikachu. Skorupi is the venom Jessie always needs on her teams. It's still kinda cute, and I can see it reminding her of past Pokemon she's caught. James's team is Carnivine, Mime Jr., and Frostlass. Frostlass is odd, but following a story similar to Mawile, I think James will befriend Frostlass near Snow Point. There's an episode where the gang gets kidnapped by a Frostlass to help save a Snowrunt, but maybe instead it's a Team Rocket solo episode that has Jessie and Meowth kidnapped by Frostlass who needs their help to take down a poacher who's targeting Pokemon on the route. I'd take away the Snowrunt because if it's still there, I can't see it joining James's team. Why would it abandon his friend after getting it back? So that's why we're switching up the story here. Anyways, it's up to James to stop it, and he goes above and beyond to save it. This endears Frostlass to him, who joins his team afterwards. It might not be the best choice, but I saw the story opportunity there. Plus, I think Frostlass does a funny gag of accidentally freezing James, which inspired this entire idea. Unova time! Jessie's team is Frillish, Woobat, and Gothorita. So Unova tried to make Team Rocket serious for once, and I liked it. In that case, I like to think that Gothorita doubles as both a Pokemon that fits Jessie and is useful in their endeavors. Gothorita is said to be able to hypnotize people, which coupled with telekinetic powers makes it great for infiltration and manipulation. I can imagine Gothorita as a sassy Pokemon with ego to her. She's prideful of her powers and sort of acts as a reflection of Jessie's own ego and ability. James's team is Yamask, Maractus, and Scraggy. Maractus is a no-brainer, spiky grass type that hurts with hugs. She's gonna be our Unovan Cacnea. I know I was talking about the tactical side of Team Rocket, but this is the goofy side. For tactical purposes though, I've given him Scraggy. Yes, I think he'd headbutt James out of love. However, he doubles a strong fighter, especially because he'd be defending Yamask from Ghost and Dark types. They'd be working as a nice tag team, as Scraggy resists all of Yamask's weaknesses. I think James will see how strong Scraggy is and use it as the muscle for Team Rocket. Despite its small size, it would pack a lot of power. Never fear, Kalos is here! Jessie's team is Gourgeist, Spritzee, and Carbink. Carbink and Spritzee are caught for very similar reasons. Not only will they help in Jessie's performances, but they're cute fairy Pokemon. Plus, Carbink is literally covered in jewels, so why wouldn't Jessie of all people catch it? James's team is Inkay, Klefki, and Phantom. These two new additions I actually got some story ideas for. I imagine an episode where Team Rocket has this giant robot to try and capture Pikachu in. The only problem? They can't find the keys. Turns out Klefki has stolen them, and they spend the episode trying to get them back. James is the only one successful at the end because he befriends Klefki through food or something. Thus, they get the keys back and Klefki joins the team. Phantom encounters them while they're trekking through the woods. It's nighttime and creepy. Phantom is seemingly haunting them, but in reality, it's just lonely. I think James is freaked out by Phantom at first and accidentally catches it. However, he bonds with it, as its childlike and innocent tendencies remind him of Chimecho or Mr. Mime. Thus, he sort of becomes the new Mime Jr. / Chimecho for James and Kalos. Aloha to the Alola. Jessie's team is Mimikyu, Bruxish, and Comfey. For once, I'm back to my usual bullshit where I don't have a lot of options. However, I think Bruxish fits Jessie's sort of vibe, and I can easily see it being a strangely powerful Pokemon. Like, Jessie brings it out and the twerps find it funny looking, but it does a lot of damage with a strong jaw boosted Psychic Fang. Or maybe it has the dazzling ability, and in the anime it lets out blinding flashes of sparkles. That could be why Jessie caught it in the first place. Either way, I think it works. Comfey is a strange one, but I could see it being Team Rocket's team medic. After getting blown up and back at Beware's den, they're healed up by Comfey. It's not much of a battler, acting more as a support Pokemon and cheerleader. That's sort of a reason why it joined Jessie. It's all Team Rocket kept getting the crap beaten out of them, justifiably so, and as a healer at heart, so it wanted to fix them up. Since it happened consistently, it chose to stick around. James's team is Marini, Pyukumuku, and Poipole. I'll talk about the elephant in the room in a moment. First, Pyukumuku. Again, not a lot of options. Pyukumuku is going to be like Jessie's Comfey in that it's a support Pokemon. It's like Wobbuffet, only a smidge more useful. Helping Hand, Taunt, Pain Split, whatever it needs to do for the team, it can. I think it also doubles as a gag Pokemon with how it can shoot a comic hand out of its mouth. I know it's its organs, but I'm just gonna call it a comic hand because that's less creepy. I think it found Team Rocket to be hilarious, and that's why it stuck around with them. The shenanigans they brought some joy to its otherwise impassive life. I mean, it's a non-immobile Pokemon that usually sits at the bottom of the ocean. I can't imagine life was so exciting for it before Team Rocket. Poipole! Okay, I could see it being Ash's, or at least close to it in personality and story. It sort of links Team Rocket to the main conflict, as Poipole is an Ultra Beast and from the same place as Necrozma. That gives Team Rocket something interesting to do. Plus, I think James is a character that's always good with a softer, more childish Pokemon. It wouldn't be much of a fighter, just there for fun. Galar time. Or Journeys, I guess it is. I basically only gave them Galar Pokemon though. Jesse's team is Poltegeist, Morgrem, and Galarian Linoon. Yeah, if you've seen Lumio Trainer Zach's version of Ash's journey through Galar, and if you haven't, you go watch it, it's really good. I think he nails the Pokemon Team Rocket gets. Jesse gets a Poltegeist and Morgrem in that video, but since I do 3 Pokemon, I've made my own choice to add in Galarian Linoon. I think it sort of acts like a Viper. It's a fearsome predatory Pokemon that found itself attacking Team Rocket, only for Jesse to bare hands rocket shit. Then she caught it to help her fight the Twerps. It's a fearsome battler and loves taunting its opponents, which draws them in. Also, it's funny to give her a weasel-like Pokemon while she also has a snake Pokemon. James' team is Pinchurin, Morpeko, and Snom. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if I pronounced Pinchurin correctly? Pinchurin. Whatever. I'm just gonna say Pinchurin. Again, Lumio's trainer Zach inspired me to use Pinchurin, and he got a Morpeko in the actual show. Now, did I give him Snom just so I can complete the Slug Boys trio? Yes. Yes, I did. I don't think it's a bad James Pokemon either. You can always have someone there who's more for the comedy instead of the battling. Snom's like a mascot. I know Pinchurin seems like it'd also be a gag Pokemon, but it can actually do damage. Bonus Paldea time. I don't have too many story ideas here, but I did write out teams for them, and I didn't want 50 comments about how I forgot Paldea. Where's the Paldea team's trash? Where's the fucking Galar team's trash? Oh no, I just explained that in the video. Sorry, sometimes comments. Watch the videos, people, before you comment. Jesse's team is Scovillain, Spidops, and Oinkalone. Again, how do you pronounce that? Oinkalone. I know it's like cologne and oink. I'm just Oinkalone. Whatever. Scovillain gives me big, sinister Jessie vibes. It's a hothead like her and doesn't take anyone's shit. Spidops, I think, is the first Pokemon she catches, but as a Tarantula. Its webs would be great for making traps to catch the Twerps and Pikachu. Oinkalone acts as a beauty queen on her team, and if contests were a thing in Paldea, Jessie and Oinkalone would have a ball with them. James's team is Brambleghast, Tinkaton, and Smoliv. This might be really late in the video to talk about my design philosophy for these teams, but for James it was always really simple. Grass types that hurt him when hugged, childish Pokemon that he'd adore, and other Pokemon that can actually hurt him while showing affection. These 3 cover all of it. Brambleghast is said to envelop its foes in its thorns and drain the life out of them. Sounds like a painful hug to me. Tinkaton I love, and I can imagine her accidentally knocking James around with her hammer or dropping it on his foot. Like I imagine a gag where she turns but forgets her hammer has range and accidentally ends up knocking James with it. Smoliv is baby. We love Smoliv. It gives me big Chimecho vibes, and I want to see it hang with the Slug Boys. I like cute little baby Pokemon for James. And those are the teams. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Either way, I don't care, because I can't change them. It's a video. If you do like them, let me know down below in the comments. If you don't like them, well, I don't know, don't watch. Next video is going to be the Rivals one, and oh boy, that's a doozy. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.